What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814 EDC, and today I'm ready to do my full review on the Kizer knives original. I've had this in for probably between 2 to 3 months, so the review is well overdue. I just have, kind of had it in the back of my mind, but I haven't gotten around to it because I had some review knives in, from past rounds and stuff like that, and I figured this is a personal knife, so I could kind of, take a little bit more time with it. But yeah, this was presented to me or given to me by my good buddy Kevin over at Left EDC, and I believe he called this like my welcome to adult world or adulthood gift. He gifted it to me back around the same time I was finishing school for like I was finishing up my master's, completely done with school and stuff like that. And yeah, this was actually re-gifted to me because this was gifted to Kevin from Brent over at Backpack B. Brent loves the original. I think he has every single rendition and variant of it as of right now. And there's actually 1 or 2 more coming out that I know of, so he's probably gonna add those as well. But he gifted this to Kevin, and Kevin liked the knife, but he said he just didn't carry it that much, and he would much rather see someone like me enjoy it and carry it and use it. So I of course accepted the present, and I have really enjoyed having it in the collection. It's a really cool knife. I think it's a very simple but very elegant EDC design. Of course, it's called the original, so it's kind of original in that, but I think it's a really good knife, and I've had nothing but I think this is gonna be a very positive review. And yeah, so before I get into it, I'm gonna pop open a nice Sprite here for my beverage. Today is Monday, November 14th, and I have some reviews to bang out for you guys. So, of course, the first one being the original. Sprite is just off topic, but Sprite is just so refreshing. Dr. Pepper is probably my all-time favorite pop, but Sprite is just always so refreshing, and I don't know. It's almost like a treat to have it nowadays. My favorite is, I think the Wendy's has like a wild berry or strawberry Sprite or something like that, because they have those like really bougie and nice touchscreen pop dispensers or soda dispensers. Yeah, but sorry, I digress. So, of course, this is the original. Jumping right into materials, it is rocking black aluminum scales. They have a really nice matte texturing to them. Basically, everything on this knife is blacked out blade, a very simple drop point style blade. Almost a full flat grind, but it has a little bit of a swedging built into the top right there. Comes down to a nice thin edge. Blade stock is relatively thin as well. Of course, this is the button lock. It is in 154 cm. Kizer Mojave. So it started out as a Mojave Outdoor exclusive, and this is number 204 out of the black. And then here up top, it says original black. You guys can pick that up or not. Hopefully you can. There you go. I need to improve the lighting in my room, so I apologize if it's hard to see, but comes with a loop over style deep carry clip that is righty only carry. A nice thing what it could have added would be like a filler tab over here or a filler plate, so you could switch it back and forth. It really wouldn't have made much of a difference. That would have been easily accessible to do right there. It has the G on it. I don't know if that's for the designer of the original, but that's on it. That's something I could kind of go without. I think the knife is already pretty sterile, other than the very minimalistic. The blade steel. You have Kizer Mojave, the number, and then the original black. So I think I could have gone without it because it's already sort of a minimalistic branding of it. But I've grown to be okay with it. It doesn't bother me that much. There is no internal milling on either side. Of course, this is aluminum. It's a pretty lightweight knife to begin with. Very compact, pretty small. I think this is a 2.84 inch blade, so just under 3 inches. I think that's all for materials, but the other variants of this, so when it dropped, you had the all blacked out version that I have here. There is I believe it's like forest green aluminum scales with everything else blacked out, so the black blade and the green scales. And then they have the like gunmetal gray aluminum scales with a satin blade, and I think that's black hardware too. And then more recently, they came out with the G10 original, which is basically the same type of scales. If you guys are familiar with the Cormorant, which I've done before on my channel, how they have like the 3 lines on it and it has like the black and the white G10. It's basically like that, but an original. They're also coming out with the original XL, which I believe is in natural canvas micarta, excuse me. They're coming out with I forget the name of it, Serape, I think, Scarape, something along those lines. It's basically like a Mexican blanket. So it's like green, blue, red, yellow colors, basically. That's coming out soon. And then also coming out soon is I think it's like Nebula Fat Carbon, which is like red, white, and blue. And then it has an LMAX blade. That is something that I've really been looking forward to. I don't know if I'm going to pick one up because they are more expensive than these. I think the Fat Carbon and the LMAX bladed one that I want is, I believe it's $180. So it's not like ridiculously expensive, but there's a lot of stuff coming out soon that I want, both pre-order and drop-wise. And I already have this, so like, what's the point in getting 2? You know what I mean? I'm kind of at that point where I don't want to get multiples of each knife just because that money, in my opinion, could be used towards other things on the channel and other things in the collection. Make sure I'm still filming. Sometimes I get paranoid when my watch face goes off because I am, synced to my phone. And sometimes when it goes off, I get paranoid that I am not filming anymore. But 95% of the time when I look down, I am filming. So, yeah, like I said, it's not something that I don't know if I can, want to go out and buy just because I already have this. I'm never going to get rid of this because this was a present from Kevin. So I don't plan on getting rid of it ever. And, at the end of the day, I can use that towards something else. Like I said, there's a couple pre-orders coming up soon. There's a couple drops, and it's the Christmas time, so I am trying to use that money for presents for other people and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll cave and buy it, but at the end, as of right now, I'm probably leaning towards not. But it's cool that this started out with 3 different variations: the black, the green, and the gray, and it is slowly evolving into a couple more expensive models with more premium materials. You're getting a bigger version, so those with bigger hands that like the knife but it just doesn't fit for them are going to have a chance to do that as well. And yeah, there's a lot of different kind of a different price range, a different size, a different style of knife for everybody out there, and it hits a very wide range of people in my opinion. So overall, materials are good, and the different variants that they have of it are currently have of it and are upcoming are also very good as well. So next up is the Action. And the Action, excuse me, the Action is very, very, I'm sure that looked great on camera. I probably just looked like I had a hairball or something like that. But the Action is very good on this knife. Thumb flick, fires out. Now there is no blade play. It's, no locked up very, very solid. Middle finger flick. Slow roll is actually pretty decent. I choose, not to slow roll most of the time, but it's, very smooth, very easy. Middle finger flick, fires out. It's very snappy. The button here stands out a little bit. You guys can see it kind of sticks up a little bit from the scale. But overall, it's, it doesn't intrude. Yeah, if you're going to be doing like a pinch grip, you would just have to be careful. But as long as you kind of get clear and past that up here, you're going to be good for doing those type of cuts. Talk about that in the ergos. I'm kind of skipping ahead. But depressing it, it's easy. All you got to do is just push in and it swings shut. Out of the button locks that I've handled so far, which I haven't handled like every single button lock out there, but to me this is better than the Cormorant. It's better than the Tucson Vandal that I handled. It's not pro level. It's not Pro Tech level yet, just because Pro Tech is kind of the king of the hill when it comes to button locks, and I think everybody is going to be chasing them for a very long time just because they're so good at what they do. This is a really good rendition of it. Excuse me. And I think Kizer did a fantastic job. It's snappy. It's it's on bearings, so it's going to be smooth shut. No blade play, no lock rock. It's a very enjoyable fidget experience. Has a very nice kind of satisfying sound to it. Kind of thwacks out, and then it kind of tings a little bit on the way in. I think it's very satisfying, but sometimes, like there, you have to kind of give it a little bit of pressure. But most of the time, as long as you give it a little bit of wrist, it swings shut, right into place. But yeah, so overall action is good. It has stiffened up a little bit. I don't know if that's just for me carrying it. Ever since I got it in from Kev, so like the very first time I opened it and fidgeted with it, the button was a little bit softer to use. And like I said, I don't know if that's just for me carrying it. Maybe got a little gunked up. I'm sure I could put some KPL on there to make it a little bit more softer and a little bit easier to push. But overall, like not a big issue at all. I can sit here and do this for hours at a time. And I do, and I'm sure I annoy the people around me. I know I've annoyed my fiance before, but I think I've done that with every knife. So yeah, overall action is very good on this knife. Very satisfying, very crisp, very clean. Just overall, a pretty enjoyable experience. So next up is Ergos. Now this is a small knife, like I said. I believe the blade length is 2.84 inches. So it's on the smaller side of knives. For the handle here, it's a pretty utilitarian, very simple style of handle. You have a straight, no humps up here. You have kind of a choil. It's kind of like a 80-20 choil here. You have an indent right here, and then it's pretty much mirrored on both sides, and it tapers off here towards the back. Now, if I choke back like this and I, put my finger here and then let the rest fall behind me, I can just get all 4 fingers on. Make sure I'm still filming. See, now I did it again, but now it closed out of the app. But luckily I'm still filming, so I apologize, guys. I've stopped the video twice to make sure I'm doing that, but I just don't want to have to restart the video when I'm already 12 minutes in. But all 4 fingers are still on the knife. It's still very comfortable. The pocket clip does not sit very proud of the knife at all. So like I can feel it, but it's definitely not a hot spot. It's definitely causing no issues, and it's comfortable. But for me, the best way for this knife is I lock right in here with the choil, and then the rest fall behind me. I have more sticking out because I have more area. And there's no jimping on this knife. There's no, sharp edges. Everything is contoured, rounded off very nicely. The aluminum, like I said, has that matte feeling to it. So it's almost like soft to the touch in a way. And it just kind of conforms into your hand and melts into your hand. And it's very, very comfortable. I love this grip right here. I feel locked in. I feel like I can really do some precise cuts. If I have to do some push cuts, it's very comfortable. Reverse, it's comfortable. Any way you hold this knife, in my opinion, that I've used it for has been comfortable. But to me, it's just, this is the best. When you get up on that choil, you get locked in, you can do precise cuts, you can do some piercing, if you have to stab or pierce a bag, a human, something like that. I have a lot of confidence in that. I like that there's no jimping on this knife just because it's kind of small, kind of indiscreet. And I feel like jimping is not needed. Like I've said before, I don't hate jimping, but I could take it, I could leave it. I'm kind of, indifferent about it. But on this knife, it just works without it. And, it's very, very comfortable. And this grip is just an absolute win, in my opinion. So, Ergos are awesome. Next up is carry. Now, I've already, you probably have a good idea how I'm going to rate the carry. But if you're lost on it, I'm going to spoil it right away. This knife carries tremendously. You have a loop over style deep carry clip that goes pretty much to the butt of the knife. I mean, you have a hair sticking out there. Not much to worry about at all. It rides very deep in the pocket. You have no flipper tab or anything like that sticking out. So if you happen to go down into your pocket for change, chapstick, coins, something like that, you're not going to be catching on anything. Again, the aluminum has a nice soft matte touch to it. I really like how it feels. One thing I would like to have them change is maybe making it a little bit more lefty friendly. Like I said, all they would have had to do was add a filler tab over here, and you could switch the pocket clip between lefty and righty carry. It wouldn't have added much more. It would have been a very simple fix. So maybe in the future they can do that. But it's a very lightweight knife, very compact. Overall it carries very, very phenomenally. As much as this knife is awesome in the action department and the Ergos department, I just think it carries super well, and I think that's a huge shining star. you know, in addition to the other shining stars that I think this knife has. So, you know, overall, it's a joy to carry, lightweight. You know, it's a small size, but it carries very, very well. So next up is Ergo. Or I already went over Ergos. Finally, it is the category I like to go over of price point and what I recommend this knife. So I am looking at Mojave Outdoors website, and these go for $84. I believe that is a standard price. You can now find them, I think, on Amazon. White Mountain Knives might have some. You can find them on Kizer's website, but originally they started out as a Mojave Outdoor exclusive, so that's why I'm choosing to look on the website. The black is in stock, so I will leave a link in the description down below. If you're interested, go check one out. But like I said, you can find them on Amazon. Mojave Outdoor actually does an Amazon, they have an Amazon storefront, and I think the codes used on the website can also be used on Amazon, so you can take advantage of the Prime shipping if you have Amazon, if you're looking at getting one. It actually says right here, link to our Amazon store on the Mojave Outdoor website. But yeah, $84, and you can use someone's 10% off code. Like I think Bees Blades has one. I think Wayne Sharp World has one. So that knocks it down, you know, under $80. I think that's a phenomenal price for it. You know, 154 cm, fully blacked out blade, a fully blacked out knife, you know, very nice aluminum scales, loop over solid deep carry clip. Of course, that button lock with very good action, no blade play, locked up like a rock, very fidget friendly, thumb flick, middle finger flick, slow roll, index finger flick. It's very easy to use. It's very comfortable. You know, to me, it's just a very simple knife. It's a very, you know, kind of a plain Jane knife, but I think this is, you know, one of the better EDC knives that I have in my collection. Like if you're just looking for something that has good geometry, good ergos, is lightweight, carries easily, it has that little bit of fidget factor, which just does with the button lock. Like I think that, I don't want to call this the perfect EDC knife, you know, because I'm sure other people have gripes with it and wish it was bigger, you know, wish it had better steel, stuff like that. But for the price point, you know, $80 or so for these materials, this level of action, this level of ergonomic, you know, pleasure, ergonomic joy, you know, carryability, like all in all, I think that's a fantastic steal of a deal for the price. And I'm really glad that Kev decided to, you know, gracefully give this to me. So Kevin, if you're watching this, thank you, dude. I really do appreciate it. This will live in my collection for a very, very long time. I don't ever see myself getting rid of it. You know, it's a present. I want to keep everything like that. But it's not just going to sit in the knife case and not be used because, like I said, this is a great EDC knife. And every time I put it in my pocket, I really, you know, enjoy it. I really, you know, like carrying it. It's just a pleasure to use, and I really, really like it. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say today, guys, about this. This, of course, was my full review on the Kizer Knives original. Once was a Mojave Outdoor exclusive, but now it can be found at different retailers. Again, the Mojave Outdoor link will be in the description down below to this specific black one if you're interested. Also, Blue Creek Knives is always linked down below if you guys are interested from anything from their website. Don't forget to use code 814EDC for 10% off of your checkout. Helps me, helps you, helps Brian. It's a win-win-win, as I like to say. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me, you know, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Do you guys have a original? Are you planning on getting original? You know, what are your thoughts on some of the upcoming ones? Like the Fat Carbon one, like the Scarape, something like that one. The XL seems like it'd be a cool one too, a little bit bigger, but I'm really happy with the one I have. So that'll be all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.